Eric, Bakker the naturopath. Thanks for coming back. I keep getting infections is the question I've got asked recently from a subscriber. What is going on? Will CanXida products help with my recurring infections? Well, if you've got recurring infections, it's very important to try and understand why you've got recurring infections and what's the source of these infections. Where are they coming from? Why is your immune system so low, so weak? These are questions you want to ask yourself, okay? Not, can I take a pill to fix up the immune system? It doesn't work like that. You need to work out why your immune system has become at an all-time low. Many times when I've had a patient and I've looked at their blood test results and could see they had big problems with white cell counts, for example, I'd look at it and say, whoa, you've got a really high white cell count here. What's going on here? Some of your lymphocytes are like way out the ballpark. What's going on? And I'd talk to that person for a while. And I'd start discovering things like the person went through a really rough time because their partner died, or something bad happened to them, or they got laid off, or just something nasty, or when they had a court case, or often there was a stress underpinning it. Not always, but in many times there was. I'm telling you guys, stress is the ubiquitous archetypal etiology. Did you get a handful of all that when I said? Ubiquitous archetypal etiology. Okay, that is actually English. What I meant was, it's all around us, it's everywhere, okay? It's the mother of all causes of disease, basically, all right? Etiology, cause, okay? So if we think about it, stress underpins so many different diseases. It really does. High blood pressure, many cancers have been linked with stress, many different things like that. So when you get infections, the first system I start thinking about are the adrenal glands with their production of cortisol, okay? And the requirement for vitamin C for your body goes up exponentially under stress. So much research was conducted years ago regarding that, of looking at a person under stress, and their requirement for, ascorbic acid was very high. Most people don't have enough vitamin C or vitamin D to really power up their immune system. We know that when we look at the COVID-19 related deaths, that up to 75% or more of the older people who passed were actually very deficient in vitamin D. So deficiencies of vitamin D and C are very common. So is iron, magnesium, and things like that. This can all count for a high infection rate and recurring infection. I've always in the clinic seen a relationship with recurring infections and poor adrenal health. I've seen it time and time and time again, so many times that there's no coincidence. There's certainly a link there. So if you keep getting recurring infections, where I'm sitting, what I'd recommend for you is certainly to do a salivary cortisol test, okay? A salivary or salivary cortisol test. The best lab, I think, is ZRT or ZRT. I'll just put it down here. ZRT, do you see that? ZRT for Tom, R for Romeo, Z for Zorro, okay? ZRT. So look them up, but they do one of the best salivary cortisol tests. High infection rates and recurring was almost certainly a sign of a problem with the adrenal gland. Okay, not every single case, but in many cases you will find there's a problem there. Now the doctor will laugh at these kind of things, but I don't laugh at those kind of things. Doctors laughed at me, no one's laughing at me anymore. So think about it. Sometimes you need to find your own causes. But the question is, can CanXida help? Of course it can help. CanXida can always help with the immune system if yeasts or bacteria or viruses are really starting to help to pull the immune system down. And they'll often do that. Many people start off adrenally fatigued or worn out. So they start becoming more susceptible. Susceptibility increases, okay? Resistance starts dropping down, and then they're a sitting duck for basically any kind of virus or bacterial overgrowth, parasites, yeasts, all these things come in, and that normally wouldn't affect someone like me, wham, you get taken down real quick. So CanXida will certainly help in that regard. But I'll reiterate, as I said, you need to find the cause. Is there cancer lurking in your body? Have you got the beginning of an autoimmune disease? What's going on? All right, go and see an expert and get checked out. Get blood testing done and find out why you've got this recurring infectious problem. All right, it needs sorting. Thanks for tuning in.